Hello, my book and wax friends. I'm Amber. If you are new, welcome, and welcome back if you're returning. I post about all things bookish and home fragrance, and today's video is about my 10 most anticipated new releases from the books that are coming out in October. So let's jump into it. There are a ton of good ones that will be releasing in October, and I'm so excited. Number one for me, and this was my most anticipated of the whole year actually, and that is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. If you're not familiar with Stephanie Garber, she is the author of the Caraval series and the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy as well, which I talk about all the time. So if you've been here for a while, you already know how much I love that series. It is my favorite of the past few years. So I'm so excited for this book. This releases October 7th. And the synopsis is, it starts with a class in an old movie theater. Folklore 517, local legends and urban myths, taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense. Except the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. So this is Stephanie's debut adult novel debut. And like I said, I'm so excited. So the second I get the book, I am reading it. So anyway, the second book on my list, and the rest are in no particular order, honestly, they all sound really good. So the second one is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This comes out October 21st, and it says, he's the ghost of Christmas past. She's not exactly Scrooge. Ghost of Christmas Past, Nolan Callahan intends to spend this holiday haunting like every other, get in, get out, return to his otherwise aimless existence as a ghost awaiting the afterlife. But when he's faced with Harriet York, the sweetest assignment he's ever had, he suddenly finds himself wishing for a future. Harriet has no idea why she's being haunted. She's a good person, or at least she tries to be. A people pleaser to her core. She always does what's expected of her. But as she and Nolan begin to examine her past, they discover there are threads that bind them together and realize there might be more to moving on than expected. So, sounds so cute. And I did really enjoy B.K. Borison's, what is it called? It's her other Christmas one, Love Light Farms, which honestly, that really wasn't very Christmassy, even though it took place at a Christmas tree farm, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. The next one on my list is A Curious Kind of Magic by Mara Rutherford. This comes out October 21st, and the synopsis is, everyone are demure knows that Willow Stokes is a charlatan, including Willow herself. Her father's shop hasn't sold anything magical in decades, and it's only hanging on by the skin of the fake dragon's teeth. Willow sells as charms along with enchanted ostrich eggs, taxidermied chimeras, and talismans made of fool's gold, until Outlander Brianna Hargrave appears and turns Willow's fakes into exactly what they're purported to be. But try as Willow might to enlist Bree's help, she wants nothing to do with Willow and her curiosities, because Brianna is harboring a secret of her own. Everything she touches turns to magic, and the consequences have chased her all the way to Ardamere. All she wants to do is find a particular missing grimoire which contains a spell that can finally put an end to her curse. Desperate to keep her father's shop, Willow proposes a bargain that could save them both. Together with a frustratingly handsome printer's assistant, the girls will uncover a plot that goes deeper than either could imagine. That sounds really cute, cozy, fantasy-esque. I'm not sure if it's like full-on being categorized as a cozy fantasy, but it feels on the more cozy side to me. And I love the cover. The cover is stunning. The next one is a sequel. It is called The Light, or The Demon and the Light by Axio. It comes out October 21st. This is the sequel to The Floating World, which I read this month, in September, and adored it. Spoilers for the wrap-up that will be happening in October. But that's all I'm going to say, is that I adored it. So this is a sequel to that. The first book is about a girl who has this light magic, and all these people in this kind of like underworld are trying to find her to get a reward for either capturing her or killing her. So it's about her trying to rescue some found family of hers, and the guy that ends up finding her but not realizing she's the one that he's been looking for. So it's a really fun fantasy story, sweet, and with a little bit of stakes. It was really good. So I'm very much excited about the continuation of the series. I think it's just a duology as well. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just a duology. So yeah, that is The Demon and the Light by Axio. Did I say when it's coming out? October 21st, if I didn't. Okay, the next one is a historical romance. It is called Sense and Suitability by Pepper Basham, which comes out October 14th. She writes clean romances, and I haven't ever read anything from her, and so I am excited to try this one, especially with a little bit of a nod to Jane Austen. So this is, after 2 failed social seasons, her family may think the 3rd time will be a charm, but Emmeline Lockhart just wants to survive with her dignity and singleness intact. She thought she'd found her perfect match in Simon Reeves. Charming, handsome, a veritable hero from a novel, until he vanished from her life without so much as a farewell or my deepest regrets, or even a vague apology scribbled on the back of a calling card. Lesson learned, never fall for a man known for his charm. Fortunately, and unlike many of the other eligible young ladies of the ton, Emmeline has no need for a husband because she's already found success in her scandalous and very anonymous profession as an author. Why bother with matrimony when she can make her own fortune and write men exactly the way she wants them? But fate or misfortune, or the misfortune of Simon's reckless patriarchs, has other plans. Simon's once proud estate is in shambles. His family fortune has been gambled away, and the younger impressionable siblings in his care are running wild across the state, and possibly across all of England. Simon is in desperate need of a wealthy, prestigious bride and a friend. So it's second chance romance is what it sounds like, and it sounds like it's going to be very fun. All right, the next one is a cozy fantasy. It is called Witches of Dubious Origin by Jen McKinley. It comes out October 28th, and the synopsis is Zoe Zayakis enjoys a quiet life working as a librarian in her quaint New England town. When a mysterious black book with an unbreakable latch is delivered to the library, Zoe has a strange feeling the tome, there we go, is somehow calling to her. She decides to consult the Museum of Literature, home to volumes of indecipherable secrets, some possessing dark magic that must be guarded. Here among this most dangerous collection, the books of dubious origin, Zoe discovers that she is the last of the descendant of a family of witches, and this little black book is their grimoire. Zoe knows she must decode the family's spell book and solve the mystery of what happened to her mother and her grandmother. However, the book's potential power draws all things magical to it, and Zoe finds herself under the constant watch of a pesky raven while being chased by undead Vikings, ghost pirates, and assorted ghouls. With assistance from the eccentric staff of the Books of Dubious Origin department, including their annoyingly smart and handsome containment specialist, Jasper Griffin, Zoe must confront her past and legacy of her family. But as their adventure unfolds, she'll have to decide whether or not she is ready to embrace her destiny. So this actually, so this is more of like a fantasy or rom-com with a little bit of magical realism in it, then I guess is how I would categorize it, instead of just a cozy fantasy, because it does take place in New England, so it sounds cute. It sounds good. The next one is called The Crimson Throne. It is by Sarah Rosh and Beth Revis. It comes out October 7th, and this is categorized as a historical romantasy. And the synopsis is, Samson Calthrop's curse has isolated him from everyone he has ever cared about. So when the opportunity arises to break the curse, he grabs it. All he has to do for his freedom is risk his life and become a royal spy, using every bit of the skills and resolve he's picked up on the streets of London to infiltrate the court of the Scottish Queen and uncover a plot to assassinate Queen Elizabeth. For years, Alyth Graham has been protecting Mary, Queen of Scots, from threats both physical and magical, including the Queen's own husband, Lord Darnley. Alyth is more than meets the eye, though. A child of a Fey prince and a human mother, she is among the most powerful protectors in Scotland, guardians sworn to defend against the Redcaps, a bloodthirsty Fey clan that Lord Darnley is in league with to overtake Scotland. That sounds really, really good. I love the Scottish vibes, the historical vibes mixed in with the fantasy. That sounds really good. The next one is The Princess Knight. This is by Kate Jacobs and comes out October 14th. And excuse me if I do not pronounce these names right. They are Irish names, and I didn't get a chance to look up the actual pronunciation, but I'm going to do my best. Donal, I'm pretty sure that's pronounced Donal, and Clea are an ideal match, or so everyone says. They are prince and princess of neighboring kingdoms, an alliance the gods will smile on until Donal ruins everything by refusing to propose. Heartbroken but determined, Clea makes the perfect plan. Follow Donal to Caslian Costa, the military academy he's attending. Show she can protect her kingdom. Secure the betrothal. Sure, the castle has a brutal reputation, but how hard can dueling really be? Warrior Ronan promised himself he'd never lose his focus. He fought and sacrificed for his place at Caslian Costa, and he has no time for blonde princesses who waltz into arenas like they're attending a ball, even if she and her otter-like pet are, well, cute. He doesn't want to be intrigued by Clea, but her hunger to prove herself is something he understands. He tells himself there's no harm training her, even if his heart does race around her, even if Donal is his best friend. But as they say, love is a battlefield, and unfortunately for them all, a very real war is looming on the horizon. It's a fight that will threaten all their kingdoms and test all their hearts. So I've heard this is kind of inspired by Legally Blonde, and it sounds like it'll be fun. Then the last book on my most anticipated list for October is The Book of Autumn. This is by Molly O'Sullivan and comes out October 28th. And this is what the synopsis is. Try as she might, anthropologist Marcella Gibbons can't escape the fact that she's a dimidium, one half of a formidable pair of magicians, forever tied together to enable the other's powers. After a tumultuous final year at Sanford and Brown College of Agriculture and Magic in rural New Mexico, Sela felt more than a little uneasy about returning to the sun-drenched desert campus ever again. She'd cut ties with her other half, the charming and rugged rancher Max Middlemore, and sworn off magic, academia, and heartache for good, until Max turns up at her door, grinning under his cowboy hat for one last favor. Something is shifting at her alma mater, something bigger than anyone understands. One student is dead, another's floating mid-air in the infirmary, growling guttural nonsense and terrifying the staff. Their best, perhaps only chance to intervene requires Sela and Max to work together. But the origins of the disturbances lies centuries ago. To unravel them, Sela will have to confront the truth about her past and Max, because she might be challenging a power she could never rival alone. So it's a dark academia type of story. It sounds good, with a little bit, almost sounds like there's a little bit of humor in it as well, which I'm always a fan of. So that's it, you guys. Those are probably my 10 most anticipated reads for, or new releases anyway. I'm sure I'm not going to get to most of them, well, except Alchemy of Secrets, during the month of October, but I definitely am interested in these 10. Let me know if any of these sound good to you, or what is on your most anticipated books for the new releases that are coming in October. And yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please like and subscribe for more book and home fragrance content. I appreciate all of you guys and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.